Yeah, do you notice something different?
Do I notice something different?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're older. You're chill. What? What's going on?
I took a page from the Cheap Audio Man. I'm using my actual camera as my webcam, and it's glorious. It's so much better.
I'm actually using that. I'm trying out that DJ that Pocket Osmo thing actually.
Oh, nice.
To see if that how that works compared to just using the Logitech or whatever.
That's not bad. I mean, your face looks clean.
I watched it this morning.
It's good. No, but it's got like a beauty sort of setting on it or something like that. It's dope.
I need as beautiful a settings I can get actually.
Oh Jesus! I'm just not gonna.
Oh man. Oh. How you doing, man?
I am amazing. I just got maybe the best news possible. I'm sure you know already, but so Bill just emailed me.
Bill?
Yeah, from Technics.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard from Bill actually in a little bit. What did he say? What's happening?
Well, I emailed him like a month back, and I just figured he was just ignoring me or maybe just busy. But he's like, "Hey, listen, we don't have the new crazy 13 Technics 1300 available." But he's like, in the interim, how about we just send you the Lamborghini turntable?
No. No. Oh my God. He's sending you the Lamborghini turntable?
Yeah, dude. I just got it like 5 minutes before this, and I'm just like, I am seconds away from cracking a beer. I am so excited. So,
well, why are you here talking to me then? You should be like in.
I already sent him my info. Oh yeah, totally. So like, I told him I'm gonna do 2 versions of the video, like one for Home Theater Secrets, that's the audiophile version, and then one for me, that's the DJ version of it. Because like my turntables are old, and like I can't adjust the heights anymore. Like they're just they're ruining my records. So like I was just like, God, just send me that one. You're probably not going to get it back.
Oh man! And what did he say? Is he like okay with that, or is he like?
No. He asked me, "How long do you need for the review, and when can we expect it back?" And I'm like, "Yeah, 2 months. You're not getting it back. Just
you're not getting it back.
You're totally getting it, but you're totally getting it back. You're totally getting it back." Oh, no.
Oh my God, that's great.
I am so excited. Like more than anything that I've gotten like wind of coming in, like this is the one that's like like even if I can't afford it, I'm going to just sell as many things as I can to like afford it. Like
what's the price on it? Like the retail? Do we know, or is it the?
Oh, it doesn't matter if it's $500. I can't afford to buy it. I'm not in the place where like that's going to be an affordable thing right now.
Okay.
But man, like,
which color did he get you?
I don't care.
I don't
care.
Oh,
a properly working Technics 1200, I'm all in. Plus, like it comes with that vinyl with the motor sounds, and I'm ready to go. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, I'm glad he was able to come through with you.
So fingers crossed that happens. Fingers crossed that it actually happens. But it better happen because now I'm excited. So. But I can't.
Taps is on a high. You can't let him down now. No.
And I'm so tempted because I made an impulse purchase. Like I went to return. I had a whole bunch of wine bottles and beer cans. Like over the last year, I don't drink very much, so like I just kind of just all stashed them somewhere, and then it was just getting stupid under my sink. So I took them all to the beer store. I made a whole $2.20, and they're like, "Do you want to buy any more beer?" And I was like, I don't drink that often, so sure. And so I went to the back, and they got rid of the short cans in Canada for the most part.
Really?
Yeah, like everything's tall cans.
Everything's
and like
tall boys now, really?
Yeah, and I don't drink like fast enough to like get through one whole tall boy. Like it's It's like I'm a short can guy. Like this just.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just, that's
so.
weird.
So I was back there, and they had. Forgive me, everyone. They have MGD in short cans, but they had 24. That's all they had is 24. So I have 24 beers in my fridge right now. I'll probably get through them by like March of next year.
Of next year.
I don't really drink that much, but I'm tempted right now just to crack one open just because.
Just to celebrate.
There's a Lambo. Yes, I'm so excited, dude.
Table heading my way with my name on it. Yes.
I did find though. Next time you're in Canada, are you a stout drinker by chance?
I don't mind it once in a while, but I don't drink it regularly. No.
So my local butcher, they started stocking beer, and they have a beer. I guess it's a Toronto brewery called Left Field. They make a marshmallow vanilla stout, and it's so good. It's like if you like eating meat and then having a stout with it, it's like I could drink that one, but I can only have one. But it's a good beer. So next time I see you, I'll bring you a vanilla marshmallow stout. It's good.
Okay, why not? I'm game to try anything once. I mean, typically I like lagers and I just like not light beers, but I just like clean, refreshing beers. But I do like a good what is it? What was it? I don't even know if they're still around anymore. Algonquin?
Yeah,
there used to be a brewery called Algonquin, and they had like a darker brown ale or whatever that whenever I was able to find it on tap, it was just like so good, and that was my dark beer of choice. But it's been forever, and I didn't even know if they're still around anymore. But no, yeah, I'm happy to try it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I mean, for all you do, like just getting me speakers and amplifiers, and just like that people seem to not pick up anymore. Like it's just,
I feel like I'm your mob connection or something.
It is the best side hustle I've ever had. Like I don't like, I still work as a designer and art director, and no one watches this. Like none of those guys watch this, so I don't care about that at all anymore. I don't like doing it. Like I just do it because it pays me money. But like I don't care at all. Like all I care about is like listening to music and getting gear. And just that's it. You're down the rabbit hole officially, man. And glad the water's great. Glad you could join us. I am realizing though. I think I mentioned this to you before though. Like I'm feeling less and less like an audiophile the more I do this, which is a weird thing to state. Like when I see like what people, and it's not like a bad thing. Like everyone has their things. Like people like their gear, people love their music, but like some of the things that like people really care about in this, like outside of doing reviews, because you have to do the reviews for the prospective audience. Right. But like,
you just don't give a shit about. Basically,
I don't give a shit about at all.
No,
like,
I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Like I have I bought a pair of B&W 606s, and I adore those speakers, right? Yeah, and I get the fact that their treble's bright and like the bass is a bit boosted and blah blah blah. But like for like when I'm presenting them like in a video, I'm like, yeah, this is all the things that for an audiophile might be wrong with it. Like, but for my day-to-day use, I don't give a shit. Like it's just they're so good, and I just love bashing tunes to them. Like and I look forward to them.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you're being practical about this, which, oh my God, what a concept. It's like, everyone gets, everyone who gets, not everyone, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't generalize. A lot of people get in this hobby are just, they just get so fixated on whatever. And it just, it just becomes this thing, and it's this and I can't even put it into words, but it's like, what I'm talking about. It's like they go off on this thing, how it's like this big to do and blah blah blah, and this is this and it's that, and it's like, oh, the heavens have opened up, and knock it off. You're listening to a pair of speakers, man. I mean, you like them or you don't, or it's enjoy them or don't enjoy them. And if you don't enjoy them, tell me why. I mean, and give, give me your thoughts. I just want, your honest, genuine thoughts, not some, Shakespearean sonnet on what you think, on the world of speakers and how this fits into, fits into the place in the whatever Jungian tree of speakers. It's like, give me a break. It's like, so.
But also, like, if you are into stuff like that, then that's awesome too. Like, I think, like,
there's room. Yes, of course.
I think like every perspective on this is valid. I just, for my own personal one, I just don't care.
There's room for everybody in this hobby, from the insanely committed and pathologically deranged to just the normal dude or whatever. I mean, there's room for everybody in this. The thing I don't like is when folks tend to look down on people like us who are just like just want, or someone who's like, I just want a decent pair of speakers. This is I got like $1,000, $2,000 to spend. I just need a pair of speakers, and this is what I have available to me. And folks just like, oh God, and they just kind of look down on that, and then they poo-poo that. Or you go on a forum and you honestly are looking for valid information. You're looking to learn something, and you ask a question, and there you have people come out of the woodwork that will
there's 1,000 people telling you that you're an idiot and you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. And it's like, who the hell needs that? You know? And it's like, just lighten up. Everyone just needs to lighten up and help each other out. If someone's looking for a hand, give them a hand. Don't.
Speaking of which, so like on that same note, when I went to New York, I posted a video of this just for me. It was like, I walked on the way to my hotel, I walked by the Bang & Olufsen store.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I got to go in. I've like, there's no way I would ever get a hold of these speakers ever. So I just walked right in, and they were busy. They just got like a new holiday inventory shipment. And they were like running around, and there's customers in there. And I just asked them, like, hey, can I record some of the stuff? Because I never get to see this. And they're like, yeah, sure. And then their store manager came over, and he just starts like, hey, do you want me to like show you some of this stuff? Like, and he knew I had zero intention of buying anything. Right. Like, but I had my camera gear, and I was like, hey, I do a YouTube channel. I'm senior editor, Home Theater Secrets. Can I just film you? And he's like, as long as you don't get me on camera, because he's like not ready for a camera. He's like doing inventory. Yeah. But he took 45 minutes with me, and just like took speakers apart, showed me like how like modular they are, and how like if you bought like a product now, they could switch out the chips and the battery for later. And then there's like the Beolab 50s, like those, like they're like a teardrop shaped speakers that are all brass. Right. And he was talking about them and like what's modular on them. And then he has them set up in like a home theater setup with a TV and just cranking tunes on them and showing me like how they work. And then they had the Beolab 90s, those crazy ones.
Those things. Yeah.
And they had like
and everything. Yep.
Yeah, they had a 98-inch TV, and with their, it does like, I forget what it's called. It's the Beovision. So it's got like the TV kind of peacocks to like close or something like that.
Yeah, it's almost like it's got these little wings that open up or something like that.
Yeah, so the TV, the Beovision with the speaker, with the Beolab 90s, with their Beolab 28s as surrounds, with like other speakers, all connected because everything's app connected, and you can use everything at once. Holy shit. And like the TV had kaleidoscope on it, so like you could watch. I was watching Top Gun, and they just left me alone to just like crank tunes and like watch movies. And like I'm a fan.
Ben Olufsen fanboy. Is that it?
Oh yeah, like I love design too, so like, but like the Beolab 20, it's like $30,000. Like,
don't even give me what the 90s and the 50s cost. I mean, a good lord.
The 90s are $210 US.
Yeah.
Worth it though. But like, so the reason I brought these up, Willow, was like every speaker is like it's like their whole thing is like you could buy anyone could buy these speakers, put them in the room, set them up, and they'll sound amazing because they'll kind of room correct themselves.
Right. Yeah, because the whole beamforming aspect, especially the 90s, you could theoretically set them up almost anywhere, and through the app, if you tell them where you want the sweet spot to be, you could tell them where you want the sweet spot to be, and
he did it in front of me.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like they have a glass wall behind them. Like it's like they're made to just be put anywhere. And oh my god, like oh my god, I commented in the videos like that could have been my hotel room. I could have just stayed there.
I remember the CES that they first launched those things, and they ran. I think I was there with Jim Clements, and they ran the demo for us, and you could see and hear where they were just like aiming the sweet spot at different parts of the room, and then opening it up to like whatever. I didn't call it party mode, but it's like it has this party mode thing where it just opens up and everywhere in the room sounds good, and it's just like. Yeah,
it's perfect.
It's amazing.
Perfect.
It's amazing. And the two sort of funny parts of the story is kind of like, okay, Bang & Olufsen is like, oh, I'm going to go do my my stocking stuffer shopping at Bang & Olufsen, so I'm just going to go buy some drop $20K on a pair of speakers and drop them in. But that's just the facetious or funny part. But the fact that the guy in the store, was totally cool with you being there, spent 45 minutes of his time, and understood that, okay, you're not coming in to make a purchase, but you're interested, you want to know more, and who knows, someday you might want to, and you're gonna, and he gave you, that's what you want in someone, in a dealer or someone you go to a store to talk to. They take the time, they give you the attention, because you may not be there plopping down your credit card right now, but who knows, down the road you just might, and you're going to remember that experience, and that's important. And I mean, just as a point of contact, and you interfacing with the brand, because they're representing Bang & Olufsen. I mean, we're not in Denmark or wherever visiting the factory. They're the contact person. That's kind of like, so they set the image for you, and this person obviously did like a great job.
Michael Dye, you're awesome. But like, to be honest, like both places in New York were the best stores ever. Like I wish, I'm going to throw a tiny bit of shade, like, and Babel Radio in Toronto. I used to walk in there all the time, and they never once looked at me. There was one guy that was really nice, and I ended up buying Mission speakers from him. Like once I had money, but like every time I walk in there, they just treated me like garbage. They wouldn't play anything for me. They wouldn't show me anything. They would kind of roll their eyes of like, oh, maybe this isn't for you. And I was just like really, like I still like that could have turned me off. And then there was another store in Toronto, and it's now closed, Cromer Radio.
Yeah.
They were awesome. Like they had like there was guys in there who would just like show me around, and just like, here's this speaker. It's like, what do you like listening to? And I'm like, well, I can't buy anything. And they're like, I don't care if you can't buy anything. You should hear these speakers. And I was just like,
you're bringing back so many memories for me, because I mean, back when I was in high school, I mean, the three big places were Brack Electronics, Cromer Radio, and Babler Radio. And those were like the sort of the three stereo meccas in downtown. And I remember going to each one of them and just spending tons of time, like, while I was on summer break or whatever. And Babler Radio, I made a couple of like big purchases from them, because they treated me so nice. They spent the time with me and stuff back in the day. But then again, this was like over 35, 38 years ago now. So it's like things change. I get that, but that's I'm sad to hear that you didn't have a good experience anymore. But
I bought a lot of stuff off them. I bought like an Arkham 280. I bought like a Mission bookshelves, a pair of floor standers. But every time, like I just walked in there, I was made to feel like, you don't belong here. And I was like, why? Like, why? Like, what is that? Like,
See, that's no good. And there's no excuse for that. I mean, because if Bang & Olufsen, the
and maybe they have different management now.
Well, that could be. I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't been there I mean, it's been so long. But I mean, but you look at something like Bang & Olufsen, that is a store, like a high-end, upper crust lifestyle, shop where, it costs, you feel like you're spending money just like dipping your toe, like sticking your toe in through the door. I mean, if they can, treat you like a customer, like a paying customer, even though they know, you're not buying anything right there and then. If they can treat you with that sort of courtesy, then why the heck can't anybody? Can everybody?
And now they have a fan for life. Like
exactly.
I will never speak anything bad about them because my first experience was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's awesome. So you said his name was Mike?
Michael Dye, Bang & Olufsen, New York City. This is on 55th. Go there. They're awesome.
Tip of the hat to you, Michael. That was very nice of you. Awesome.
Yeah. And I was doing everything with a phone, so it was as ghetto as possible. But like, yeah, it was just great. It was like just lots of history there, and like, it was awesome. Like they had like it's called their, let me see if I remember, their 7223 turntable. So it's like their 1972 turntable that they bought back. And then there's same people that worked on it in 72 still worked on it now and updated it for now. So it's the exact same turntable, just updated for 2023.
Wow. That must have been something.
It was cool. And they did the same with that, that stacked CD player, that the CD changer thing they have.
Yeah.
They do the same thing. So they're just taking their old products in and redoing them. And then like you can resell it, or like you can just get it changed for and updated for the current day.
I've had a few people ask me about actually where they could get old Bang & Olufsen stuff serviced. So if they could, I mean, if they have to take it to New York to do it, or if they have to take it and find,
I think they could take it anywhere.
Any store.
Like I'm pretty sure they could just take it anywhere and be like, "Hey, can I get this changed or updated?" And they'll do it.
If that's
like, there might be a fee involved, I'm sure, but like,
I'm sure there is.
But like the fact that you could take your old gear and just take it in, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we'll do it."
If that's like a policy that they'll do it, extend to any store, that's killer. Because I mean, it's amazing. Some of that old Bang & Olufsen stuff, I mean, it looks, I mean, it's timeless looking stuff. Yeah. I mean, the design on it is just amazing. So,
and it sounds. Cool. The thing is, I didn't expect any of their stuff to sound good. I thought it was all form, no function.
Oh,
because it has that look to it. I was just like, this can't be any good. Like I thought it was. There's that speaker that I didn't really like. I thought it was going to be like that, where it's just like, it's going to sound kind of crappy. No, it sounded great. Like everything sounded good.
No.
And so now, if I can get a hold of one of their, it looks like a bucket portable speaker.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get a hold of one of those, because you can, I don't think daisy chain is the right word, but you can, if you have one, you could have another and make them a stereo pair.
Team them together. Yeah.
And then if you have another product, you can add it and multi-room the whole thing. Wow. I asked them if you could potentially home cinema it, but the lag is too much. So
okay.
So like they said no, but like you could still you could still like the dialogue will be off if you do that.
Right.
But like for music, yeah, you could totally do it. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Bang & Olufsen, I mean, their stuff sounds nice. I mean, there are very few Bang & Olufsen things I've heard in my life that don't sound at least good. But those speakers, like, I mean, obviously the 90, the 50, the 20.
The 90 is just, oh my God.
No, those are a whole other level.
If you're in the New York area, go to 55th Street, go to the Bang & Olufsen store, and just listen to the 90s. It's just,
you know what?
Tell them Taps sent you. Sorta Hifi sent you.
I'm actually going to be going on the 5th. Adam is like there's something going on with Falcon Acoustics or whatever.
what, dude?
I didn't know if you'd want to still go after being there twice or whatever. But
I love New York. What are you talking about? What do you?
I'll shoot you the email or whatever of what it is. But it's like there's Falcon Acoustics.
What are you thinking, man? Just send me down to New York.
I just thought you've been there twice in a row, like just rapid thing. I thought you might like be like I want to break for a minute.
No. No. No, it's New York, man.
Okay. What, are you mad? Of course I want to go. Okay. I'll send you the email, but it's basically a launch for a new speaker launch for Falcon Acoustics, and they're going to be at the Power Station recording studio I think in Living not in Living Color. In Living
How
Living
dare
Color,
you, sir?
that band is supposed to be there. So
really? Like Cult of Personality?
I think so. Yeah. They're going to be doing like an acoustic set, and I think they're supposed to be monitoring it through those speakers or whatever.
I wonder if they have CM Punk down for that. That'd be awesome.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, pro wrestler. Sorry, he comes out to Cult of He comes out to Cult of Personality. So
okay. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if there's any WWE affiliation going on. I have no clue.
Well, I guess the royalties, it comes out every Monday night. It just comes out and that song's playing. So,
I'll shoot you the email and then we'll just see if Adam, if they can do it, because why not? If you can come down, that'd be great. All right.
I think they like the other video let's segue right now to DALI.
Mm-hmm.
And I made another hi-fi friend for life. It looks like at Park Avenue Audio.
Yeah.
Dennis, so like we're as far as like good before I get into DALI, as far as like a good person to meet at a hi-fi store, Park Avenue Audio, Dennis, the owner, maybe the single most personable person that runs a hi-fi shop, or just in general person. Like I met like he didn't have to, like he put on the event and everyone at the event was nice, but then he just personally walked in and just started talking to me and like didn't have to. It was just like, hey, thanks for coming. This is my store. Like, I just want to tell you about it, and here's the history of it. And like
the one you did with him on the video was great. I thought it was
just
it was really
at the
cool.
end, but like that went on for like 40 minutes. And like it wasn't like he was talking at you, he was talking to you and was genuinely just happy that you were there. And like he said, it's like, I sent him a thank you email, and he was just like, hey, my offer still stands. Next time you're in New York, let's go to dinner. And like, you'll be like, you eat the best food you'll ever eat. And like, to be honest, I think everyone should meet this guy, or at least if you like audio and you want to talk to someone, it's like his store. It's like, so it's like 10,000 square feet or something like that. But every room is like a really nice, comfy room in your house. So it's not like well lit. It's not like it looks cozy, but then like I just commented off the cuff. It's like, oh, it looks like one of these rooms. It'd be great if you had like a kitchen island and a fridge in here, just because it feels like home. He's like, no, you come check out this room. We have a full kitchen. We have a wine fridge. And because like at some point, like because of his clients, like they're looking to outfit their house. Right, but one of them was like, hey, do you know where I can get like a wolf stove or something like that? He's like, yeah, I know a guy. And so like, they now put like, I think Wolf is the range that they put like a full kitchen, and they outfitted his place with a full kitchen. So like, if you're in this room that has a kitchen and a wine fridge and all that stuff, it's like you could see what that would actually look like in your place. It's really nice.
That's awesome. Is it not, do you have to make an appointment to visit, or you can just walk in off the street?
I don't know. I was kind of I was kind of VIPing it.
So like VIPing it. No, I get it. I'll have to check because I mean I'd love to. I was one of the things in my head when I go on this trip would be to pop in and visit the store. If
we get to go, I'll just drop an email and be like, hey, can we come by?
Why not? Hey, why not? Why not? It's nice to know people.
They had, I think, it looks like, I don't want to misquote, but they had Perliston there. They had, at the time, they had like the top end DALI speakers, the core all set up.
Yeah. Oh,
they had I didn't get to hear them, but like every speaker you ever want to hear, they had there. And it looked like a great place to hang out.
I bet it did. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it sounded from like your video and everything that was in it and your description. It's like, I want to visit this place. I really want to visit this place.
And then those DALI Epikores, because part of the segue is like, holy smokes. Like you have them. The Epikore 11s.
Yep, right. If I could just turn this thing around just a
There's the water heater.
There's the water heater. Hold it.
Right there.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
those
man.
are just.
They are gorgeous.
They're gorgeous.
Yep.
And this is the one time that I'm not jealous. I already heard them, so I'm not jealous.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
but like,
there's the one. Yeah, there it is right there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it's the one time I'm not jealous because I got to hear them for an extended period of time. But also, they won't fit in my place. Like they're too big.
These things are like 65 pounds each. They came in flight cases. My older son Peter, I came over one morning and he helped me. Like it was a crazy morning. I was just done with the big SVS speakers and I boxed them up the night before, and he helped me haul them upstairs because the truck was coming to pick them up, and then he helped me open the flight cases, bring the flight cases down, and unload these things in here, and then we brought them back upstairs. And it's like, oh. Yeah, my back is still a little tweaked because of it, but man,
you got to do those deadlifts.
Oh shit! I'm so out of shape. It's so bad. Oh my god! But and there's still some tweaking I got to do to the positioning and stuff still, but just dropping them in my normal like place where I start all my speakers at, and just letting them go cold. They sound phenomenal. Holy smokes!
They're like, unreal. I didn't know what to expect because like I'm hearing their top end before I hear anything else from their lineup. So like you don't really know.
What a way to get spoiled, right? Yeah.
I know, like so like I'm hearing like they're close to the top one, like and so like they they did the whole demo and the whole spiel, and if you want to watch and read more about it, just watch that video and we'll link it below. It was awesome, but then like we got to just crank tunes on them. And so I started with the Epikore 3s, their three-way stand mount.
The three-way stand mounts, yeah. And you really like those, right?
I was in a room that was like my old living room. It's like 25 by 20. And I made sure, like I just tested like because they had a JL sub there. I was like, this got to be disconnected.
Right.
And it was. And then I just started, like I ran dubstep and drum and bass through it. And I was just like, this doesn't actually make sense because they're like they're like 5 feet away, or no, I'm exaggerating. They're like 3 feet away from the back wall. They're like 12 feet apart, and then I'm sitting like a good 10 feet away from the speakers, and they sounded huge. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, like these could be the only speakers you ever get. Like they just sound big, and like I was playing bass music through them, and I was completely floored.
You know, I hear even just when I was in Munich and they announced the Epikores, and I had a chance to just to listen to them and stuff. I heard the 11s, and I heard the one down from that, and it's like no, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. No, this was the Rubicores I'm talking about. That's what they launched in Munich. I'm sorry, scratch that. But they still sounded awesome as well. They sounded fantastic as well. But yeah, having been to DALI and seeing the operation and what they do, and you know, because when I went, that was when they launched the Core, and so listening to it, seeing how it was built, how it was put together, how it was designed, and then with the knowledge that okay, there's going to be more coming, that you're going to be getting all the trickle down from this. I mean. Yeah, they're an amazing company, and they're one thing they want to hit the U.S. market hard. It's been one of their they're like everywhere in the world. They're like everywhere. I mean, you can find DALI speakers all over the place in the world, and they're well represented everywhere except the U.S. At least this was the plan. This was what they were telling us a couple of years ago when I went and visited. And they're saying they want to crack the U.S. market, and they were completely committed to making a huge push to do it, pulling out all the stops. And it looks like they're doing it like through these speakers. They're just going all out. And I'm not surprised that you were blown away by what you heard, because
I know you have your own music that you like to listen to, but like
we all do. That's right.
But if you if you have a chance, there's a track. It's called Echo Dub by Skeptical. It's like a
Echo Dub by Skeptical. Let me write this down. Okay.
I'll email it to you. I'll send you the link for the tune. But like I went full ham because like they're all the speakers. They're on like a Blue Sound connection in the store.
Yep.
And so once they told me, they said the room name, I was like, oh, I'm just going to connect to the Bluetooth. And so when they left, I just sat there. I was the only one in the room, and I just read tunes for like half an hour, 40 minutes. And like I shot everything I needed to shoot. I'm just going to drink this glass of wine and enjoy myself. And that tune went on first on the Epikore 11s. You can see it's on my Instagram, so you'll. But like that, it's like so. It's like
droning kind of.
No. It's very like the classical sort of dubstep sound. Like when it first came out, is like it's drums, it's bass, it's to the time of like techno, but it just slowed down.
Okay.
Right. And it's got like more of a slower dub bass line in it. But like the key to it is it's really sparse. So there's lots of like, it's almost like there's air in the mix where like there's lots of space between elements. So like if it's produced really well, it sounds really clean, and like you can like the drums and the bass and stuff. But a Skeptical is a drum bass producer that just makes smash like in your face, beautiful bass, heavy drum and bass. And so like when he did this track, I'm pretty sure he probably did in one day. Like he's just really good. But like the track just rules. And if you play that through those speakers, just let me know what you think. Just like you don't have to like the song.
No.
But just
I'm open to hearing anything. I mean, I like all kinds of stuff. But
like this one, like the guy I forget his name. The guy from Lenbrook walks in. Is like, so it looks like you got a hold of the Bluetooth connection. I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you want me to like control this so you can have like high res? I'm like, honestly, I don't care. Like, I can deal with a little bit of sonic degradation just to have control of these tunes myself. So
I just want to feel my pant legs flapping. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to feel it in my chest. Yeah. And it was just like, oh, just so good.
Okay.
But it was great.
Send me the name and the link to that song. Yeah, I'll try it out. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you're watching this video, just play this tune at home. I'll leave a link to the YouTube video of this. It's so great.
Oh my god. Oh, that sounds.
And if you can figure out what the hell the sample is saying in the song too,
let me know.
Let me know, because I just go meh 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 meh. I have no idea what they're saying.
Oh my god. Oh no.
But yeah, Epikore rules. Awesome. Like, yeah, I wonder if I can get the threes in at some point. I want to actually just get like a Rubicore speaker in at some point just to hear some of their stuff. But like nice. The threes are pretty epic. Like I have sorry to rub this in. I have the Arendals in right now. Oh my god!
You know what? I should just not bother being surprised anymore by what you get your hands on. I don't want to know.
So they set the 1723s in, and they're like, hey, we think the full size would be too big. Why don't we send you the smalls? I'm like, okay, that should be fine. The center channel is bigger than the McIntosh receiver. Like it makes the McIntosh receiver look like one of those Bluetooth amplifiers. Like it looks
like
tiny,
like a Fozzie little.
Yeah, the McIntosh looks like a Fozzie next to the center. It doesn't even make sense, and that's the small center channel. And so
and these are the new Arendals, like the new.
No, so I think these ones have been like they have a larger new. Is it the 1562 series?
Yeah, I think it's 15 something. Like, they're brand new. The cabinet has sort of got this sort of carved to it or something. So it's not.
Those won't fit.
No, okay.
Those won't fit. Those won't fit. Yeah. So they sent over I have the center. I have the mini monitor, which is essentially a short floor stander. It's gigantic. And then I have like two bipolar surrounds. And then they sent their smallest subwoofer, which is a 13-inch side firing subwoofer, and I don't know where to put it. Oh my god! I think I might actually put it in front of my media unit and just have the bass point to me. Like in my space, it won't make a difference where I put the subwoofer. It's just going to be, just overkill.
I mean, you might. That's a good place to start, but you might want to just like play some stuff and just like move it around while
I have it one place right now, and I'm like, this doesn't really sound that good because it's firing into my kitchen right now. I might put it against the window or something and just like, but yeah, it's oh my god, it's so crazy. I can't wait to move. I can't wait to move to like next year at some point, just to a larger space, just to make this.
You could find get more room for more stuff to show up. Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah.
But the new Arendal stuff looks great. I mean, at least
it looks amazing.
Images I've seen on the web and stuff. So yeah. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to get some of that stuff in. But
yeah. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, please do. Oh my god, that's too crazy. Oh jeez.
But
yes. I've been tooling around a little bit. Yeah. I was in Japan for 2 weeks. This whole thing started off as a I know. Yeah, you're like
I know.
You got to go to New York a couple times. You got a consolation prize. It's okay.
No, I'm not complaining. I just I can still be spoiled and envious. It's okay.
No, this is all right. That's all right. Yeah, true. but yeah, 2 weeks in Japan. It was initially set up by Stax, and while I was there, or while I knew that I was going to be there, I checked in with TAD and Teac, since I was going to be in the Tokyo area anyway, and that's where they're generally based. And yeah, they were nice enough to make some time for me to come in and spend a couple of days at each place. So that's where the first week I started off with Teac. Teac/Esoteric for a couple of days, and then went to TAD, and then and that ended up basically being the first week, and then the second week was all at Stax basically. So, but first time in Japan, and
you love it.
Oh. It was an absolute bucket list thing. I mean, I always ever since it was a wee babe, I always wanted to go to Japan. But
can you make that sound creepier?
It was a wee babe. I wanted to go to Japan. No.
What are you in Harry Potter? What the fuck?
Kind of, yeah. No, I'll tell you that there was a third grade book report that I did on Japan, and that was the first time I ever. I ever like sort of got interested in another country besides, where I lived basically. And I remember going to the library and getting, books about, and this was like, these books must have been put together in the 60s or the 70s or whatever. And they had that sort of, Kodachrome kind of look to the pictures and stuff and everything. And it was, I was like, this is beautiful. I mean, you saw the old looking buildings, you saw Mount Fuji, you saw, the geishas and all that stuff. And ever since then, I've always had in my mind that I wanted to go there. And so, yeah, it's been a bucket list thing. And the fact is I was able to, Stax made it possible. It's like, thank you guys at Stax. Thank you very much. And TAD and Teac, it was a wonderful trip. Thank you. So that's where, my whole
and you want to live there
obsession.
Now if you could.
No. I mean, no? it would be yeah, if I don't know, if I was maybe 30 years younger and I was single or something, that might be but no. I would love, but I want to go back and visit as many times as possible, because it's just the whole culture and just everything basically, anime crazy stuff to just the food to like the 7-Elevens.
Oh yeah, like you could eat dinner there.
Oh my God. I mean, it's like 7-Eleven here is like a place of last resort, where it's like there, it's just like, it's an institution, and then you can, and you get all kinds of cool stuff. And I mean, but even just some of the basic stuff, like, there was a grocery store near the hotel I was staying at. And so, every evening after dinner, I would pop in there just to grab a couple things to have in the hotel, like some fruit or whatever. Just basics. But I didn't realize they grew grapes in Japan.
Yeah.
I had no clue. And the grapes I got were like the most amazing tasting grapes I'd ever had in my life. I mean, oh my God, they tasted like candy. It was unbelievable. You know, it just simple.
Did you try the strawberries, like the pink strawberries?
Not the pink strawberries. I just tried some regular ones. But
they're like hydroponically grown.
It's just like everything, the fruit, the apples, the strawberries, the grapes. I mean, they just tasted so good. I mean, fresh. They tasted like fruit you get from a farm stand, basically.
Yeah.
You know, but just right there at the grocery store. And so it just you know, it just sort of blew my mind as just on the most basic level. So, and you know,
but
there was
food wise, did you go to coffee? Did you grab coffees?
Yes, we went to a couple of you remember Jacqueline from
yeah,
you know, she was there for the TAD part of the trip, and so we hung out for a little bit, just kind of tooling around and going to some coffee places and stuff. And yeah, we found some great coffee spots that just had you know, like I remember she likes pour over. I like, you know, the cappuccino, espresso, whatever. But the places we found were like just very artisanal. They just like, you know, went into it like whole. You had to wait for your coffee and you waited for it, but what you got was like worth the wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was just it was phenomenal. But the weird thing was the really good coffee places didn't open until like maybe 10 a.m. So it's like if you're going to work in the morning and like on the train, you're heading on the train and stuff like that, you're basically stuck with the Starbucks or the McDonald's or the whatever. So
or the vending machine,
right? So if you
did you try the Boss pre-sweetened creamed coffee?
No, I didn't try that. No,
I dream about that coffee.
I dream of coffee.
It's like this big, but like it's just pre-sweetened with cream because in Canada you can only get like oat milk, which is BS. But like, who drinks that? Like,
gross.
Yeah.
But emaciated people drink that. Ugh,
yeah, it's horrible. But like, yeah, it's like you can get a pre-sweetened, pre-creamed, and it's just a one hit. I gained so much. I would get type 2 diabetes just drinking that. There, it's just it's so good.
I put on a few pounds. I mean, the baked goods.
Oh yeah, I told you, right?
Places. Oh my gosh, yeah. The dessert places, the baked goods. It was just like phenomenal, and it's like, yeah. No, it was.
Was there a big highlight? Like, was there one meal or one drinking session that like stood out to you, or were they all just crazy?
They were all really. You know what? It was funny because we went most of the time. You know, when I came back here, and the first thing my kids asked me was like, "Oh, you must have like gorged on sushi or whatever. You were in Japan, you must have gorged on sushi." It's like, no, not so much. I mean, it was like. I ate a lot of the sort of local food, the stuff you get. I mean, we went to a bunch of izakayas, which were like sort of like, I guess you would call it. I would say like I guess bar food, but I guess that's the best way I could describe it because you got a little bit of everything, or you could choose from a bit of everything. They had lots of different
like yakitoris. Do you have a bunch of those? Oh, those are so good.
Yeah, a lot of tempuras, a lot of. I think there was a little sukiyaki in there. There was just a bunch of things. A lot of
katsu.
Yes, that chicken karage chicken. Yeah. There was also a lot of sashimi actually too. So there was a bit of that. So which was great, and then obviously you get with the beer and stuff, and it all together it just like tasted so good. Discovered I really love lemon sours for some reason.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I really enjoyed those. But yeah, so it was a lot of that. But the guys from Teac, the first day they when I got there, the first day what we did was basically from the airport. They kind of took me to like to check out a local temple or shrine, which was great. It was beautiful. And then after that, we went to the hotel. I got my stuff set down. Then we took me to dinner, and so we went to izakaya for dinner, and which was great. It was yummy and everything. And then after that, I was like, oh, good, thanks guys, I really appreciate it. And he goes, oh, we're not done yet. We're going for dessert. And I'm like, dessert? He goes, yes, we're going for ramen. And I'm like, we're going for ramen for dessert.
What
it's like, oh yes, we're going for ramen. And so we were
my
like
God.
tooling around, and we found these like this little ramen place. It was like a little hole in the wall, and it was, you know, we
Is it the curtains?
Yes. Yeah. Curtains. Just it was like really small. I mean, it had a handful of seats in it, and it was run by these two young kids who basically both of them had like 2-color hair. You know, it was like, but the ramen they made was just like dynamite. I had this like spicy, was it tonkatsu ramen or whatever? Holy smokes, it was so good. I mean, unbelievably good. And it was like that was one of the. And it was like, it may have been all of like $7, you know, once in terms of what it cost. I mean, it cost nothing, but holy smokes, it was so good. The funny thing with the Teac guys was all the engineer guys, when they found out I was like into anime or whatever, they were all like anime nuts. It's like we're all like a bunch of like mid 50-year-old like midlife crisis dudes who like dig old anime. So it's like, you know, we're talking at the final dinner, we're like talking Gundam, and it's like, oh, you love Gundam, oh, Gundam, great, we're talking Gundam. It's like, and we got into all this stuff, and they're pulling up names of obscure characters from you know, the Gundam series and all this stuff, and it was hysterical. It was just hysterical.
Did you get that shirt there?
No, this I've had for a while, but I got some. This is like what is it? The Demon Slayer. I got some art books actually from the series while I was there, which are gorgeous. So that was one thing. It was a little thing I picked up for myself. But the Teac guys for our final dinner took me to this place that was they served, and actually the TAD guys did sort of a similar thing for our last dinner too. They took me to this place that basically it was a fixed menu, and they brought you these beautifully composed little dishes that were completely seasonal. So it was the freshest stuff of the season of autumn in that particular area of Japan. And so that we had, it must have been like maybe 7-8 courses of just these beautifully composed. I mean, there was just like little works of art, not huge things, but just, just beautiful looking, smelling, tasting, the whole 9 yards. And it's like things I'd never tried before, but just it's one of those memories I'm going to have forever, because the taste, the freshness, and the visual and sensory aspect of it all was like unbelievable. I mean, it was
just awesome, beautifully
put together. And the TAD guys took me to someplace similar, closer to where they were, in the area they were located, which is about a 2-hour bullet train north of where the Teac guys were.
Oh,
so yep.
Did you happen to have a beer on the bullet train?
I did not have a beer on the bullet train. No, I didn't. I didn't even think about it.
Because they're this big.
They're bullets?
No, they're like 4 ounces.
Oh.
It's like
I should have thought about it.
They're awesome.
Oh my God.
I'll put a picture over this of like when I went last. It's like, because I have, everyone used to call me baby hands because I have tiny hands, but like the beer fits. The beer actually looks small in my hand.
That sounds a little creepy. It's like, they called me baby hands.
It's just like, it was just I can't palm a mini basketball. It's, what can I say? It's like I got small Indian hands. I just like. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have the most non-threatening hands you'll ever see. It's just like, but the beer looks like it looks tiny in my hand, which was amazing.
Oh my gosh. I wish I would have thought of it, but the bullet train was, again, another experience, just having never been on a train like that before. It's like, well, I was in something similar to that in Italy, but it didn't go quite as fast as this. This was the legit bullet train. And it's like,
Did you watch that movie?
Bullet Train?
Yeah. It's not bad.
Is it,
it's like Brad Pitt and then the guy that's playing Craven.
Yes. Yeah. I had to stop because I started watching it and I got like maybe halfway through it, and it's like, this is freaking crazy. This is like too much. I gotta stop. I gotta come back and finish this. And I never did, but it was just like, there's too much shit going on.
I've watched it an uncomfortable amount of times. It's like, if you like a really stupid movie that's fun to watch, it's that one. Like, you just suspend all disbelief and just like watch this. It's so dumb and so good at the same time.
It was such a messed up, crazy ass movie, but yeah, no, I need to go watch the rest of it. But it got to the point where it's like, okay, I gotta stop. This is just like, I can't.
They do a thing at the end, and I'm sure it's been done in other movies, but like where there's a water bottle that gets like poison in it at some point, and it ends up killing someone. But they do a compilation at the end of near the end, where like they track the water bottle throughout the movie, of just like, here's where this water bottle started, and here's all the shit that's happened to this water bottle on this train for the duration of this movie. It's awesome.
Okay, all right. I have that gives me another reason to go check it out, to go finish it, because I'm sure Netflix remembered where I left it off.
But, it's so dumb and fun. It's dumb and fun. So,
but I'm trying
did you sake whiskey? Was there any?
Yes, sake was very good. We went to actually let me see, because I'm jumping around all over the place here. I'm jumping around all over.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the hi-fi.
It's just like, so they're like, we brought you to Japan, and you're talking about it's like the food and the drink and everything.
He wrote stuff about it.
Yeah, and there's some stuff I got to write about it still, and I took a ton of video and everything. So yeah,
but also, like, just so you don't get in trouble, like, I feel like all of this stuff is part and parcel with audio. Like, if you have an appreciation for one thing, there's a good chance you like cars, you like food, you like experiences. Like, it's all the arts, man. We're sort of everything.
The thing that I came away with from the thing I came away with from the trip to Japan, from an audio perspective, but also just from a cultural thing, it's like, okay, I've been to Italy, I've visited Sonus Faber, I've visited the Audiophile, Unison Research, Gold Note. So and my background's Italian, so it's kind of like, we're like, blah, we're like, it's, passion on the shoulders. Yes, we're passionate about this. Yes, we're passionate about that. Kiss on each cheek, manja, manja, manja. Everything is like, bigger than life. But and those places I visited in Italy were legit. Everyone is like so passionate about what they do and the quality of the work they do. And it's not about, making a shit ton of money. It's about, the music, the audio, the whole thing, right? Japan is the same way, but it's just it's a whole different thing. Instead of it being like, out there, it's more reserved. It's a bit more restrained. It's just, the whole philosophy behind it is just so much more quiet, so much more sort of introspective, but no less passionate about what they do. I mean, I went into Teac, Teac Esoteric, met with the engineers. They took me through the facilities, through the clean room, and I saw them, manufacture, the circuit boards. They walked me through all the little engineering nuances of what they do, and they explain the reasons for why they do certain things that are like, as specific as like, okay, on the circuit board, we have certain components raised up off the circuit board so they don't contact the board where others are in contact with the board, because we feel they sound better this way. I mean, it's down to that level of, detail with them. But just the quality and of what they're doing and the people behind it. It's just like, it's the same thing as being in Italy, that passion, that that drive, that commitment to make beautiful, well-engineered stuff is there. TAD, the same thing. I mean, they brought me to the manufacturing area. It was like, basically, it's this TAD it's a tiny company. I mean, it's on the Pioneer campus, because Pioneer has like this campus. It's in Tendo, about 2 hours north by bullet train from Tokyo. Pioneer has this campus there of about 6 buildings, and it's basically Pioneer Automotive. So it's not so much the AV receivers, the Bluetooth speakers, any of that stuff. That stuff's all done somewhere else. I don't know if it's in Taiwan or overseas there, but in Japan, it's Pioneer Automotive, and TAD has got 1 building there, and they are just a tiny part of it. But the electronics they make, we're talking like the preamps, the amps, the DACs. We're talking like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 pieces of equipment. They're all assembled. I mean, on a regular day, one technician, the lady who was there, who was putting it together, I got to video her from start to finish putting together this stereo power amplifier from like start to finish. And she was, I mean, everything was, they had everything laid out exactly where it should be. No wasted movements, no nothing. And she was like, artfully putting together this thing, checking all the tolerances, I mean, it was just like watching her putting it together was like watching someone like doing a little bit of a dance, just kind of putting it, just the attention to detail and the artfulness of her putting it together was like watching someone doing this, like a little performance. It was amazing. But on a regular day, she's the only one putting all their equipment together.
Oh my God.
She's the only one. If they have like some extra orders coming in, they'll bring in a second person to start assembly. If on like it's completely gangbusters and they have like all this stuff to do, they'll bring the third person in, but that's it. There's no more than 3. And for 3 people to be assembling at one time, I mean, they have to have like a shit ton of orders. Yeah. So normally it's just like one person. And it was just. Does
she sign
amazing.
every piece or something, or
she doesn't.
Or even sign it internally?
I was actually suggesting to them, you know what, because she should. I mean, the technician, one person puts this thing from start to finish, just like say, the Aston Martin guys do with the engine. The one technician start to finish puts together the engine. There should be a little plaque or something with like a stamp or with their signature in it.
Even if they do it somewhere where like you don't see it.
Oh yeah,
like if on the inside of the top casing, it's like totally. If you were to take it apart, you would see her name.
Yes,
it's just a thing.
That would be like an amazing like bonus extra for just like the pride of ownership. That would be just incredible. And then so that was just like that was just really, really amazing. And
imagine if she does that though.
What's that?
And we don't imagine if she actually does that. We don't know. Like she just takes a Polaroid selfie and then sticks it to the other side.
Yeah, it's like shit. Oh man. So that's where they make the electronics there, and then across the street is this place called Tendo Moko, which is a furniture manufacturer. It's like a huge Japanese furniture manufacturer, and they make actually really beautiful sort of high-end Japanese furniture. But they also make the cabinets for TAD speakers, and they also do like a lot of. I also found out they do a lot of automotive work for Toyota and Honda and stuff. So all like the wood paneling you see on their dashes or on their steering wheels is done by this company. So it's a well-established woodworking company, and it's huge. I mean, they wouldn't let us film inside the place because there was, because since they do automotive stuff and other things, we couldn't, they didn't want us to be filming all that. They let us film the little section of the place where they do the TAD speakers. But imagine this ginormous hangar I mean, it's this huge place, like it's like the size of a giant hangar, and they had all this woodworking stuff and all these craftsmen doing hand stuff for furniture. These presses for pressing multiple plies of wood together for the furniture, for the automotive stuff, for the speakers and everything. I mean, it was a massive operation. I mean, it made Pioneer look like like a little toy store. I mean, how big the thing actually was. It was unreal. And then we get to the little section where the speaker cabinet is done. Like, everything else is like all this other stuff, and then right in the corner, like little speaker guys putting together the speaker cabinets. Yeah. But the attention to detail and the craftsmanship, it's like we just sort of stood there watching them from overhead, and it's just like, it was phenomenal. The funny thing was, this place, they had like a museum area where they had like all the furniture, like how they started and everything, and all the first furniture they made and all this stuff, and then they had this section where they had the work they do for automotive stuff. They actually had the zebra wood panels from my old Acura actually on display in the museum. Really? And I'm like, look at this, like, wait a minute. It's like, that's zebra wood, right? And they go, oh, yes. They go, we used to make for Honda. And it's like, Honda, it's Acura in the U.S. Those are from my car. Those are from my car. My car that my son crashed a few years ago that I don't have anymore. But I remember those panels. Oh,
that's amazing.
So that was so funny. They came from here. Oh, it's like, hey, I'm not worthy. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was totally unexpected and pretty wild. And the listening rooms, both TAD and Teac had these custom made listening rooms, which I mean cost probably a ridiculous amount of money, and the walls were like no parallel surfaces. So I mean, the walls were like on angles from each other. The back and front walls are from angles from each other. The ceiling is angled up from the floor. So, I mean, these were properly designed listening rooms, and listening to their speakers, like both TAD and Teac in these rooms, were like, wow, okay, you get the full measure of what a speaker can do in these rooms, and they were quiet enough that you could conceivably hear differences in various kinds of equipment if you would swap it out. So yeah, that was an eye and sort of ear opening experience, because I mean, I listen to stuff in my room here, and it's like, okay, yeah, I have a furnace and a hot water heater in here. I mean, they make noise. I have a computer with fans on it, makes noise, and it's kind of like, yeah, I can turn the volume up on the stereo, and obviously, I get it, and I feel immersed and stuff. But sometimes you don't realize how, when you're in a completely quiet room, just how much more low-level information you hear without the volume being turned up that high. Yeah, and it kind of sort of hit home just how kind of important that is, and in an ideal situation. I'm not going to be building my own custom listening room anytime soon. I have to pay.
You're not going to reno the basement?
Yeah, no, I have to pay for my kids' college first, and then I'll see about that. But yeah, that was,
get them to switch vocations. Just become a welder or something.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, right, my kid. Sure. But
be dumber, son.
Be dumber, son. Here's a blowtorch. have at it. But yeah, and that's not even getting into Stax, which was the whole second week, and same sort of thing. I mean, they're not a huge company, and it's funny. The president of the company was the guy who basically came in the morning to pick me and some of his staff up from the hotels. I mean, he drove the little van that picked us up in the morning from the.
That's awesome, though.
And brought us to headquarters. I mean, the president of the company. It's like, okay.
You said that you stayed in a strange hotel for that, right?
For Stax, yeah, it was kind of like a little teeny. It was a tiny hotel.
Was that like a coffin one, like one of those?
No, it wasn't one. No. No, it wasn't one of those things. It was more kind of like it's kind of like a because where Stax was, it's sort of part residential, part industrial. So I think a lot of people who are like, you know, workers or whatever come in and stay at some of these hotels for the week and then go home on the weekend, because they put in a ton of hours. So this is kind of like it was almost like I don't say like a workers hotel, but I mean, I guess it's kind of the way you would explain it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't there weren't a ton of frills in it, but it was comfortable enough and everything. But yeah, it did have it did have like wallpaper and like a carpet and like linens that looked like they were from like my mom's house back when I was like 10 years old or whatever in the 70s. So, but other than that, it was comfortable. But yeah, Stax Stax was Stax was surprisingly low key. Yeah, it's kind of like walking into Stax. You know, walking into these Stax, basically the first thing you do is you have to take your shoes off when you walk into the place and put on a pair of slippers. You know, so you're walking around the facility in slippers. Thank God they actually had a pair of slippers that fit size 12 feet. Otherwise, because nowhere else seemed to, apparently. But yeah, it was just walking into Stax was kind of like walking into like somebody's house almost. Very laid back. I mean, they have their manufacturing area. They have obviously the clean rooms and stuff, which look like manufacturing and clean rooms. But everyone there was just like very laid back, very cool. I got to meet various engineers. I met the older guys first, particularly the one fellow whose name escapes me right now, but he's like sort of the guy who's considered the legend. He's been there the longest and actually helped. He actually helped when organized the workers to actually the employees to take over Stax when it went through, I think, its first bankruptcy or whatever. And it went from becoming family owned to being owned by the employees. And he and the employees were the guys that basically kept the thing running and kept the thing going and did all sorts of stuff like that wasn't engineering stuff in order to keep the company going. But yeah, just a really amazing guy. He's still there. He's still a consultant. He's still every day he's there, you know, working and stuff and advising them and it's really wild. And then I met a couple of younger engineers who were like in their 40s basically, who just came on, who were brought on because they have a love for the brand and a love for the product, and they're like doing they were showing me some of the interesting innovations that they were bringing to the company in terms of how they manufacture their drivers, and bringing the idea of 3D printing in to make jigs to help them better better measure their products, better measure their drivers, and improve the consistency of what they're making. And it's helping bringing production time down and improving the final product. And just how basically they walked me through how they make, you know, the different kinds of drivers and how they, you know, the stuff in that clean room you have to go through. That was probably Stax probably had the craziest clean room, because you had to go in and you had to have like the dust vacuumed off you, like blown off you before you actually got to go in the room where the stuff is made, and you had the whole face mask, you know, the hat on, the
That's interesting
stuff. And they had a room where they actually cured the drivers, and each driver, depending on the model, cures for a specific amount of, you know, number of days or months. It was just an amazing sort of thing. And then they had a museum as well that showed you the whole history of the company and all the different products they made. They used to make stuff like, besides electrostatic ear speakers, they used to actually make full-on electrostatic speakers. They used to make microphone. I mean, they got their start making electrostatic microphones for broadcast use, like in like the late 30s. They made electrostatic phono cartridges. They made phono preamps. They made power amplifiers. I mean, they made like the product. They had samples of all this stuff, and like just like the product breadth that they used to have in their heyday was like monstrous. And that's one.
When
of the
was their
reasons-
heyday?
Their heyday was like through the 60s and the 70s. They were like making all kinds of stuff. It was kind of like the heyday of Japanese hi-fi, basically. And then when the 80s came around and sort of the bottom dropped out of the Japanese hi-fi market, and then China started coming in online and started to make things cheaper and faster and stuff. And that's when I think the company went through, I mean, forgive me if my dating is not accurate, but that's when it went through its first bankruptcy. And that's the fact that they made all these different things was one of the reasons why they went bankrupt, because they were spread too thin. Yeah, they're spread too thin. So now all they're making right now are ear speakers and the amplifiers for the ear speakers, and that's it. And you know, they're apparently they're doing very well. But yeah, just a really interesting and dedicated bunch of people.
And you love their stuff, so.
Oh yeah, their head. Yeah, if you listen to like a set of Stax electrostatic headphones, I mean,
I would love to, sir.
I would love to, sir. Yeah. If you go to the Toronto Hi-Fi show next time it's around, they might have some there for you to listen to.
I feel like you're unwilling to send some over.
I know it's kind of like I'm not unwilling. I think between me and I think Lori, I think we've probably reviewed all their stuff between me, Lori.
But you haven't done it on video.
But I haven't done it on video. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That might there might be a reason for that. There might be a reason to do that. But even, my two favorite Stax headphones, funny enough, are their least expensive and their most expensive ones. The most expensive ones are the X9000s, which I think I forget, I think about $6,000 for the pair or something like that. And they're driven, and you have to spend maybe another $6,000 or $8,000 for the tube amp to run them. But they sound effortless. They sound absolutely phenomenal. You've never heard music until you've heard them through these things. I mean, it's unbelievable. But then they just released this year, I think it's the SRX 1000, but it's an entry level set of electrostatics, and they look like, smaller headphones. But I heard them the first time I heard them in Munich when they just launched them. It was like, for $1,000 you get the headphones and you get the portable electrostatic amp, and the sound you get out of these things for $1,000 is like, wow. I mean, I wish these things were around 30 years ago when I got into the hobby, because I mean, I remember Stax headphones at Babler Radio, like we were talking about. They had like a wall of Stax headphones, and it's kind of like you sort of look at them and it's like, I'm not worthy of this shit. I'll never be able to, you know. I wish Stax would have had something like that back in the day, because it's like that would have been an amazing entry level thing. But you can get it now, and for the price, they sound phenomenal. They're definitely worth the money and worth a listen for sure. And I hope they sell a boatload of them, because I think they're really that good.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was a hell of an adventure.
So
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no. So Japan was. There was one thing I figure we might as well just talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's in the news. Bose buys McIntosh, Sonus, Faber.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's least favorite hi-fi company.
Bose or McIntosh?
Bose, dude.
It depends who you talk to these days. I hear like people slagging on McIntosh almost as much as they slagging on Bose. People are just a mess. I mean, people are just.
I feel like silly. Everyone that really complains, it's mostly online, and it's just the saddest people just complaining all the time. Like, there's just
they have nothing. Because
you never really used to hear these complaints before, but now that they have a voice and they can just type anonymously, it's like
Yeah.
They're always going to complain, and it's usually someone that can't afford to buy the thing.
Thank you, social
that complains
media.
about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's was it social media gave everyone a voice, and then you realize quickly that most people don't need to have one.
It's just like, no. Those folks you shouldn't have given a voice. No. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Well, let me ask you what have you heard, and what do you think about it? I mean, do you have
I only just cursory
just
saw the press release of just like Bose buys McIntosh and Sonus Faber. I believe they're going to just keep running as business as usual with it, but maybe with a boosted marketing budget or something like that. I hope that's the case, and I hope everyone that is employed and does PR just kind of remains as they were, and it's just an acquisition. I don't know anything further than that. I don't know. To be honest, as much as I do that, I know nothing about the business of hi-fi. I was just like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I hope they don't fuck this up, Right. And I'll beep that out.
If you had friends, have you had like friends of yours, or do you have friends who are even interested in this sort of thing, or do they even care? No, they don't even
Dude,
care.
You're the only one. You're the one I know.
You're the only one I know who's interested in this.
None of my friends care at all. My one friend Mace just wants to get like whatever I'm not using. He's like, can I borrow that? But like that's it. Like no one I know.
You're the ultimate normie.
Yeah. I don't know anybody. I have no friends in this besides you. So that's why I text you when something cool happens. I'm just like, I don't have anyone else to text.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, it's been sort of the talk of the the social media stuff for the last few days now since the announcement came out.
I didn't even think Bose was big still.
Bose still has, it's still a fair sized company. I mean, they haven't been doing great over the last 10 years. I know they've closed, I think, most of their Bose stores, because they used to have stores in a number of malls and stuff. And I think they've closed all those. And I know I read somewhere recently that their annual profits have sort of been in decline over the last 10 years.
Because everyone just found out that those wave radios sound bad.
Yeah, I mean, you can only sell so many of those things, and I think no one wants the Acoustimass little teeny home theater things anymore that they used to be so well known for. The thing where I guess a lot of people don't maybe know or realize is that Bose had. They still do, but I mean, it used to be bigger. They had like a big footprint inside the automotive space in terms of like designing head units for like General Motors,
Infinity,
Ford, Infinity, a number of auto manufacturers. So that's where a lot of their money was coming from. And they had a professional unit too, which I just read recently they shuttered. But I think a lot of this has to do with the automotive space and kind of bringing that back. They've been in competition. Harman has, over the last dozen years, has really come in and sort of, monopolized the automotive space when it comes to like, the premium systems you can get in your new car or whatever. I mean, they've you'll find them in B&Ws, you'll find them in a lot of premium makes, Lexus and other stuff like that. And they also do ODM work for other companies as well. So they while other companies might brand the car systems with their name, Harman actually are the guys who manufacture it and do the actual the parts come from them, or they work with the other companies like say Bang & Olufsen or Bowers and Wilkins or whatever too, because Harman has that deep automotive know-how. Bose used to have a lot of that, and they still have it somewhat, but again, Harman's eaten into that, and I think part of the reason was they're looking for brands with the cachet of like Sonus Faber and McIntosh, I think, to bring in and kind of help them with that and sort of bring that part of the business back over to them, because McIntosh just had this recent thing with Jeep with doing like some really high end systems for their Grand Wagoneer and their Grand Cherokee. Sonus Faber just did systems for Lamborghini and Maserati. So again, I think
if they could bring like the Sonus Faber Lumina into my Kia Rio, it would be amazing. Just
I think
or that new K4. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
So it's not the best looking car. It's like a bigger. They replaced the Forte, but there's a wagon version of it, the K4 wagon. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It looks kind of cool.
All right.
And for like lugging speakers to FedEx, it's kind of the perfect car.
You branded your secrets car or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like now, like my priorities change. Like I still want a sedan, but like you can't put speakers in it.
That's right. Like, your little speaker holding car. Oh man.
Yeah, like my Rio fits speakers, no problem. So. Yeah.
There you go.
I sent the Evos
with coolness.
I sent the Evos. No, it's not a cool car. It's a lawnmower. It's such a bad car. But I could fit the Evo for the Evo X's, the giant floor standers. I fit those into the back of my Kia with the rear seats folded down. I was like, this is crazy.
There you go. Well.
But but if you could put like a Sonus Faber system, even a Bowers & Wilkins 600 system into like a budget car, like you would have all my money.
I think that's what I think this deal. I mean,
don't put a Bose one in.
My gut tells me this. That's what this deal is more about: bringing those names in and helping Bose like add some cachet and some a little more fun to their automotive offerings and stuff, and grow that business. I think that's what I think it's more about. I can't see Bose going in and messing around with McIntosh too much or Sonus Faber too much now, because they're ends of the business they have no clue about. They just don't. And I think any whiff of Bose coming in and ordering Sonus Faber what to do with their next speaker model, or McIntosh what to do with their next amp design, people will just no mas. No, I'm not touching this anymore. And that would. I think they're smart enough not to do that. The fun thing, actually, which could be interesting, is
headphones.
I posted this. Well, headphones. Yeah, it would be interesting if and there had been talk of Sonus Faber doing headphones for a long time, and I don't know how serious they've been with it, but if they could leverage some of Bose's technology with that would be interesting. I also thought it would be interesting if McIntosh could leverage some of Bose's noise canceling technology for something like a phono preamp, because it's like you're amplifying a signal, you're amplifying a tiny signal taken off a needle, like a ton, like a huge amount before it even gets to your preamp volume control. And that's susceptible to all kinds of noise. Plus there's like the surface noise off the record, there's dusts and pops. Bose is affiliated with MIT, so it's kind of like they have the R&D,
Doesn't have McIntosh have something like that though?
Well,
when we were there, they had like in their their second floor with that crazy driver array speaker. I remember he mentioned that there's they were sending the signal through something that it was room correction and something else.
It was some sort of room correction processor thing that does more than just room correction. I know you're right, but this is something I'm thinking of, using noise cancellation or something to de-click or de-pop a record through the phono preamp, in real time. That would be something. I think that would be something interesting. Who wouldn't mind not hearing any more pops, clicks, or dust things coming off your record anymore? If they could find a way to do it without damaging the signal.
But then just listen to a digital copy.
Well, there's right there is that, but I know. But again, this is just me talking whatever.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they do a McIntosh wave radio though?
No. No. Yeah, with the meters in it and the little glowing. And a bunch of little green tubes that pop up out of the top when you turn it on.
Yeah, and it costs $14,000 this time.
No. Although McIntosh has done some crazy things over the years, like that they've charged ridiculous amounts of money for. So anything's possible, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I always thought would be kind of fun is if Bose brought the 901s back, the classic 901 speakers that they used to make. Maybe let Sonus Faber take them and do an anniversary edition where they used like some Italian cabinetry, sweetness on them. Maybe tweak the crossovers a little bit, and they come back with those hot-looking 901s and pair them with a really nice, McIntosh integrated amp with tubes and stuff. That would be like the ultimate sort of nostalgia. Actually,
what they should do
system.
What they should do is they should make a McIntosh Sonus Faber powered speaker. So like it's a Sonus Faber speaker, maybe the top panel is McIntosh, and then maybe each speaker has one of those view meter on it. So a view meter per speaker. Yeah, I'll do a mock-up before I put this up, and we'll overlay that. But that would be awesome. I would do. Yeah.
If you saw McIntosh's like standing subwoofer or whatever that's got like the big VU meter on the base.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
But that's an active speaker. Well, between McIntosh and Sonus Faber, that's not out of the question. But what if?
Hey man, if they were able to. I feel like I visionarily put a few ideas out there already.
No one says
compact receiver.
You know what? You can
Modern Audio Gold 100. I'm going to lay it out and just I'll put it out there.
Unsolicited ideas as you like. Yeah. I mean, you never know what gets picked up.
Maybe, and once I pass, I'll be like the unsung hero of modern hi-fi. Who knows?
There you go. You combine the art director and part of of your life and the audio part of your life together into one cohesive package. So this could be
a thing.
This could be a thing. Ultimately, though, I think it's Bose is an audio company. So any which way you slice it, I think it's better they're owning McIntosh and Sonus Faber as opposed to like some private equity firm who has no freaking clue what they're doing and just wants to, is constantly focused on the bottom line and is looking for anywhere to cut. So I think it could be a lot worse. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping Bose will, keep a light touch on those guys and hopefully give them some extra operating capital.
Were they both formerly under like Massimo or something, or were they separate?
No.
Okay.
I know McIntosh used to be owned by Clarion, the audio guy, the automotive audio guys, and I think then Sonus Faber, I think, has always been either on its own or owned by like an Italian group or whatever. So now it's kind of like they're all under this thing called the Fine Sounds Group, and then that's what Bose bought. So, which I think it includes Sumiko as well, the phono cartridge guys. I don't know exactly where Rotel fits into that. I know Fine Sounds distributes Rotel, but I don't think they own them. So I don't know how that part of the arrangement works. That no one seems to have spoken about that or has laid out any answers about that. So
yeah, I feel like that would be pretty big if that was part of the deal.
Yeah, I would think so too. So it'll be curious to see what happens with Rotel and their distribution now that this is happening. So we'll see. But yeah, I think hope for the best.
Change is afoot.
Yes. And I think people who are like, hemming and hawing about it and, gnashing their teeth and it's like, oh, that's it. They don't know what they're talking about, or they just need to chill. Yeah. So, other than that, but it's been interesting.
I'm curious. I just saw so many people like up and or just mentioning it. So I was just like, I figure this is worth talking about. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it totally is. I mean, it's big news in our industry, and it could it could do wonders for them. I mean, you know, there's some upside, some potential upside to this. You know, I think more of that than downside, but you know, you never know. So
cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think that's gonna wrap us. So it's like an hour 30. We just can't shut up. But
well, we're just such engaging, fascinating personalities that, you know, we need that breathing room.
We really should do a sake filled one of these, though. I feel like.
Oh yeah, but I don't know that we should put it on the secret site. I think we should probably put it on
mine?
your yours, probably. So that way it's kind of like,
hey, we are platform agnostic, sir. We'll just
this is not affiliated with Secrets of Home Theater and Hi-Fi.
Yeah, well, it'll just be the 0102 Sorta Hi-Fi collab. We'll do it that way.
There you go. Oh man,
cool, man. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and
thank you guys,
we'll see you next time.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Take care, folks.